Intro this thing.
You're already
losing. You're losing us. You're losing it.
I ain't losing us. I'm
You're
just
losing the
BSing.
crowd.
What? Hi, crowd.
Yeah. She's married to you. She's obligated.
I would have said biased. Nah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, you know what time it is. You know who you watching right now. If you don't know the guy to my mother, every left, your right is the main man, the baller tall, Chadrick. And right here, the guy with the, I gotta fix it. Don't worry about that. The guy with the crazy hair, nice muscles sometimes. To your left, my right, Jeremy. And if you don't know who we are, yeah, oh, you doing the position? Okay, I was like, you got something to say?
I'm helping you with your left and your right because you were struggling right there.
No, well, because I have to think about how they see it. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I was helping.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Okay,
I got you.
Hold on, ready for it? We are. Stop again. I messed up. Do that one part, and we're gonna kick it out. The what? This podcast, this tag team, that part. Give me that. Give me that.
Shush! Allow me to do this.
There's a dog here on your chin.
If you don't know who we are, I'm Chad. That's Jeremy.
What's up?
And together, this podcast, this tag team, this collective, these Comic-Con conquerors, these gaming gods, these wrestling phenoms.
Oh, it's wrestling wrong.
We are Fusion-Haa.
You see him. It's hot as a bitch.
It is, and monetization is gone starting now.
Really? Let's beep it real quick. I think it's been a minute. Woo! You like that?
Yes. I'm quite pleased and proud.
I gotta share it with you.
I
can't
that.
just have it all.
I like that.
Yeah.
We have created a new intro now.
Yeah,
you have to do that every time.
I gotta eat hot chips every time there.
Well,
I feel with hot chips.
Your body's gonna hate you, but the podcast will thank you.
There it is. All right. So I had come with this idea for today's episode because, first it started with video games. You know, like lately they've been like doing censorship and all this and all that, blah blah blah, for the last few things. Watch a couple videos on YouTube, like Lady Decade, Top Hat Gaming Man. They're married, by the way. But I was also watching one about somebody like they love I'm about to say Virtual Fighter, wrong game, Dead or Alive, and like their journey, and that's fine. Yeah. But also then I started thinking about like other media, you know, like TV and all this other stuff that people be doing censorship on. Sometimes it's needed, but a lot of times it's not. But lately of today's culture, and now I wanted to have a conversation. Probably gonna debate about some things. Maybe so, maybe not. We might be like, yeah, Jay, you're right. And I wanted to share this conversation with you, mi amigo.
Okay, yeah, man. Censorship is a thing that's definitely needed. Well, let me rephrase. I don't think censorship is so much the problem. Like if we're talking about video games, I don't think it's so much needed there. I think a rating system is the more important thing. That's the thing that you need. And on top of having the rating system, like let's say if your kids are gonna play like a rated M game,
right?
Like it should be on you as a parent to be like, hey, because your kid's gonna ask you, hey, can I get this game? Because they broke, they ain't got no money. So they're gonna ask you, hey, hey, can I play this game? And it's on us as a parent to look at this game and be like, well, I don't think you're ready or mature enough for decapitation, violence, blood, death, and stuff like that. Right. So I think it's really on us, man, because what happened, I remember one time, Devil May Cry, it came out, and I went to go buy it. I went to like Walmart to go buy the game, and they were like, took a look at me, and they was like, no, where's your parents? So I had to call my dad to help me buy the game. Right. And and then they hate, but they're doing the right thing. They're like,
he said they hate.
Do you know this game has nudity, blood, violence, blah blah blah? My dad's like, all right, like,
I'm cool.
Yeah, he's old enough. Give him the game.
So, how old were you at the time?
I was like 15, 16.
Oh, okay. So your dad's like, hey, he's mature enough. Why not, right?
Yeah. So, he bought the game, but I appreciate that though.
Right.
because I don't want my kids to be able to just go buy some random crazy video game that has everything they ain't ready for in life. You know, if they're like 10 years old, like.
Okay. Yeah, because like I know it's like a big issue sometimes with like the last year or so. What was that Stellar Blade? Big controversy about that, you know.
Yeah, so
and like, you know, how the chick looked.
That was like, so blown out of proportion. Like
and actually I heard they like toned it down even for what they had. So I don't even know what they had. And they was like, oh, we're gonna do this, and then really they didn't want to deal with the backlash. And
it wasn't that bad.
I know. I watch you play.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't. Man, look. I've seen worse. Bayonetta.
Yeah,
the Bayonetta be spread eagle all over the place, dude. It's crazy, and it's on Nintendo, which is like the family console.
Yeah.
But that's where the rating comes in, man. And that's when it needs to come. It has to be on us parents to police and watch what our children are doing, man.
But also that kind of goes back to like the reason why I'm bringing the subject matter up. Like I said, originally it was video games. They made this big deal about that game, like, you know, Stellar Blade. And like you said, the rating system was there for a reason. And like you said, Bayonetta. What about another game that was on Nintendo? What was it? Mad World.
Man,
bro, the things you could do on that stuff.
I went mad at Mad World.
But I was thinking, but the reason why now I remember what I was saying prior to pausing. The thing is, it's today's time, bro. Like everybody complains about everything, dog. And that's why I'm trying to think about censorship.
Yeah, man, it's a funny time that we live in, because I do believe that certain things that have been implemented are good, because there are certain things that have happened. Just because said things happen doesn't necessarily mean it's right. Doesn't mean the way that's the way it should have always been. I definitely agree with that. But where I disagree is just the overcorrection of trying to censor things and do things. Because some things aren't necessarily bad, and some things like I can even use a movie, right?
Yeah, so please, that's what I'm saying. Like
if I'm okay, like my kids, they watch scary movies, right? They watch scary movies. So when we were younger, at least in my opinion, there was a lot more sex in like movies than it was like
now.
Well, I'm talking about in the scary movies. In scary movies.
When we were growing up?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. To me, it was a lot more nudity and stuff like that in the movies back then. So when my kids want to watch the older movies, I do go through and like I try to look and see what's on there before I say yeah or nay. If it's just blood and violence, I'm more okay with that, because we've had to talk about how this is a movie. You don't imitate these things in real life, yada, blah, 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 parent talk. I've had those talks to my kids. So I'm comfortable with them watching that type of thing. But now, man, it just seems like people complaining like, oh, man, this is too much, blah, blah, blah. Like, if I'm okay, I'm doing the research for my kid. I'm looking at what they're watching. If I say it's okay for them to watch, that's fine. I feel like if it's, as long as it's not offensive, like
that's starting to be subjective.
Yeah, but
I get what you mean.
But no,
I mean
bro. I mean offensive. Like if it's not and when I mean offensive, you know I mean offensive. I don't mean just because something could have been perceived a certain way, but it may not have been that way. It may be that way. It may not be that way. Sometimes things are just outright offensive. And it's like, okay, like, what are we doing? Like, this had no context to the movie. You were just trying to get a point off or this joke was in bad taste. It didn't land. It didn't do what it was supposed to do.
Okay, what about South Park? Because, like, I remember, and this is Neil, what's his name? Neil Brennan? That Chappelle Show writer.
Yeah.
And I remember, this years ago on the Breakfast Club, he was saying that Comedy Central had this policy. Hey, just don't apologize. If it's like, clearly, we're just joking. You know what I'm saying? And, like, I get it. And South Park talked about it. Everybody in a way is like, it's gonna offend you, but clearly it was jokes. And then it's not like, oh, just the J Star, call them J Stars. Yeah, J Star, get it? Okay. Black people, Scientologists, so on and so forth, blah, 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 right? They talk about everybody. God get this heat. Damn, God? You know what I'm saying? So what would you say for something like that? Like, you know, a South Park, because they talk about everybody. And of course, you know, you're going to get offended.
And that's what I didn't get to finish my point on what I was saying.
Oh, that's like, what makes a question on that. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're fine. So, like I said before, this could be the shortest episode in history if y'all listen to me. This could be a 5-minute episode. it's up to y'all. Like if you have your kids, because to me, censorship is more so. To me, I believe censorship is more so for the children. Because as adults, I mean, we have the choice to, if we know something, if let's say there's a clip of something that's going around, right? And it has something in there that you don't feel comfortable looking at, you don't feel comfortable watching. You can just be like, nah, I ain't gonna watch that. And then that's it. Right. But for your kids are more likely to be, they're curious. They want to know what's going on. They want to see something. And you know, you tell your kid not to watch something, they're definitely going to want to go watch it. Right. So it's up to us to do our best to try to make sure our kids aren't doing these things. But this all can be avoided, bro. It all can be avoided if you just pay attention to what your kids are doing. Like South Park. Right. If stuff's in there is offensive to your kids, you don't like it, don't let them watch it. Because apparently there's an audience that enjoys it. There's an audience that enjoys South Park. I mean, it's been around since forever. Yeah, it's been around forever. I told you my story about South Park.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my mom didn't even know what it was. She just bought it for me. And I watched it, and I'm like, oh, she don't know what this is, so I watched it. And when she came in and caught me watching it, and I can't say caught because she's the one that bought it for me, but she just like, they doing this? Yeah. You know you don't need to be doing that, right? Yeah. Okay. And so then that day she realized I was mature enough to watch that, and she allowed me to watch it.
What about like nowadays? Like I said, the times we live in is weird. What about? It's almost to the point of freedom of speech is getting messed with. So I'm gonna tell you a story about a comedian, right? I talked to my wife about this before days ago. So you heard of Godfrey, right? The comedian, Nigerian guy from Chicago. And it's funny because he kind of he apologized.
Great imitator.
Right. Yeah. And it's funny because like he apologized about this, but then he was on the 51. Well, Corey Holcomb called him on the 5150 and he kind of still joked about it. It's still funny. So this resurfaced from like 2020, right? He was on some show, like a hip hop show. I think it's like hip hop something. I forget what it's called. These two brothers, they did a Zoom call. And he was telling the story when he was at this, I think it was like a gospel show or a gospel award show. And he was saying in the back, it was about James Avery. I know you heard about him being homo, right? So he was talking about like the time he went in the back. They sat him in the green room or the area of the green room, right, when he was done doing this thing to kind of warm up the crowd. And he was like, he seen Farrakhan there, Mike Tyson, James Avery. And he was like, Uncle Phil more like Aunt Phil, That's the only thing I say. You put too much sauce in, you call it Aunt Phil. But he was mad flamboyant. And so that resurfaced like a couple weeks ago, and everybody got mad about that. Like one, this is 5 years old. So it wasn't bad 5 years ago, but now it's bad now. And then it's like, of course, everybody loves Uncle Phil, and I get that. And he apologized. And I was like, what are you apologizing for? It's like, because my problem is with that is, why would you apologize from your experience and you told that experience? People be like, how dare you, blah, blah, blah. They like jumped this dude, of course, their internet. And I'm like, why somebody's in trouble for some stuff they said years ago and it's not that bad, or it's an experience? Like, what's up with that? People try to shut you down for that. They try to, I would say, censor you and force you to apologize for something that, in my opinion, for what I see, you ain't did wrong. You just told a story. And like I said, I give them that, hey, bro, unfeel, and that's it. And that's it. So what you think about stuff like that? Because that happens a lot too lately.
So Godfrey, I feel like Godfrey is a person that speaks his mind and says what he wants. That's just how he is. And that's cool. Because I feel like comedy is different. Like I was saying before about the jokes. To me, comedy is almost off limits. Like you should be able to say anything. If you say it creatively in a way where the joke is going to be funny, the joke is going to hit.
Stop there though. That he was on a podcast. It wasn't nothing.
But no. I'm just like saying, like, from what I've seen from Godfrey, that's what he does. Like Godfrey's.
Well, if you're not doing, so that's why I'm trying to stop you on that, because I'm like, well, he wasn't doing comedy. He was just telling a story.
No. I'm just like giving like a preface before I go into what I'm gonna say.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I perceive like comedy. Like comedy, you should be able to say the thing that you want, because comedy is meant to make you laugh. They're gonna joke on you. That's just what a lot of comedians do, right? And Godfrey does that same thing, right?
Oh, he's funny too.
So
live. It's funny as shit.
But the way, to me, Godfrey carries himself as a person, that he's gonna say the things that he wants, how he wants, or whatever. And to me, now I don't know the full like how everything went. To me, based off the things that you just said, I can see how if first things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. If he was offended,
everybody said that.
Okay, like if he's okay, if he was offended by that, there's something that offended him.
Yeah, man,
then, okay,
that's him.
But if Godfrey, I feel like if Godfrey apologized, just based off what I see, maybe he did feel bad about what he said. Maybe he did, just based off because I don't really see him apologizing for anything else. So maybe this is something that he did feel bad for, and just because it's his story and that did happen that long ago, you can look back on something and be like, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I apologize. But Godfrey doesn't strike me as a person that will apologize just because people are messing with him. Because there's so many, but no, I'm saying maybe he felt that he crossed the line. Maybe he did. Maybe he felt that.
But he didn't, because then he turned around, was joking on the vlog, and show you the clip on 5150 so they brought it. So I know Corey Holcomb, actually it wasn't even him, it was co-host D. She brought it up. And she was butchering like, how it happened, where it happened. So he was like, nigga, I got this nigga's number. He called Godfrey. And they don't do their shows the same day, Tuesday nights. Yeah. And so he told the story, but he was kind of still joking on it. So I'm not like, I was like, why? See, I was like, that's why I wouldn't apologize for something that, I mean, if it offends you, it offends you. Yeah, you know me, I'm the king of doubling down, because I'm like, that's why I don't do it. Because like, I'm never going to apologize to anybody if I don't mean it. One, I'm not wasting my time. Two, I'm not going to lie to you like that.
Yeah. But that's what we don't know his perspective. We don't know if he meant it or not. But he just told the story. I know, but to me, he doesn't strike me as a person that would just he doesn't strike me as that person. So I feel like if he apologized, maybe he changed his mind. I would hope he wouldn't let the people that are online talking to him about whatever. I would hope that's not.
It was weird because, like I said, he was kind of still joking about it. And he was so long when he was joking about it Tuesday. I asked Tuesday, bro. I was like, oh, see, I knew that's what it was. Because you felt pressured and you did the thing that most Americans are starting to do now, because everybody's ganging up on you and whatever. And it's like, okay, guys, chill out, bro.
Because even if you look, like Andrew Schultz always says, like, you shouldn't apologize for comedy because if you start apologizing for something that happened, like jokes
exactly,
as long as it's not like outwardly offensive or whatever, but like if it's something that if you start apologizing, it's never going to stop, and then you're just going to basically be censored as a comedian, and then you won't be able to, tell the jokes that you did. But since it's a real life situation, like you're saying,
exactly,
maybe he did feel bad about it, because maybe he overstepped, maybe he realized, he shouldn't have said what he said, and he apologized. But I mean,
that don't even make sense though. Why would I apologize for my experience? Make that make sense.
What do you mean? Because
that was his experience.
I understand it's an experience, but just because it's your experience doesn't mean that it wasn't offensive to somebody. Just because it was your
that's between you and your God. That don't make sense. So wait, I told you a story about my life and it made you feel bad, and I apologize.
No, I'm talking about who it happened with. I'm not talking about people. I'm not talking about I'm talking about the people within that situation, not the people that are like.
But that's like the people that got it.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the people on the internet. I'm not talking about.
But that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, I mean,
Uncle Phil dead. Like, what
that's
can he
what
do?
I'm saying. Like, I'm saying maybe that's why he apologized. I keep
but
saying.
Even with that, okay, so like, I gotta apologize for what I see. That's the point I'm trying to make. Like, why am I apologizing for based on what I seen and what actions that individual's done? If that's what happened, that's what happened. Now, you might not like that I saw you.
Yeah, oops, but there's still a way that you can go about addressing. Just because he's playing boy, that don't mean you just need to call it out. Why? Why does it matter?
I mean, you just tell us, but he was just telling the story.
No, but I'm talking about it in the context of the story that he told, not the fact that he told the story. Like the fact that he told the story and that's something that happened.
That's what happened.
He doesn't need to apologize to us. He needs to apologize. Like if he had to apologize to somebody, you apologize to the man, but he ain't here, so you can't apologize to him. And that's what I'm talking about.
Because like that's weird, man. I'm not apologizing for what I saw, dog. That's the problem I'm having with today's society, that people are apologizing for their experience or what they saw, or they're like, "Oh, you didn't see that?" Like, yeah, I did. It's starting to get more and more like that. Yeah, now. It's like, like, oh my God, did you see? And this kind of like, the whole Thunder Rosa thing. Bust it open. That's your stuff. I know the whole different subject matter, but you seen that? It was weird. We'll talk about that offline.
Yeah. No. Oh yeah. That's
not censorship. Yeah. But yeah. No, I was like,
they should have.
What?
They should have put a little blur. They put the right to censor. That's what
wrestling and censorship. Hey, see last Friday. Hey, they did good on WWE with Tiffany Stratton. They did good with her.
Bro.
I knew what happened when the screen went black. I go, oh shit.
Yep. I said, I know.
That's when it's good to do it. Now we back.
Hit that Janet Jackson, bro. I know the Janet when I see the Janet. I know what happened.
I do too.
I know what happened.
Because I seen her adjustment first. I was like a minute prior, and then she like did something and just went black for like 3 seconds and it went back. And I was like,
but see,
now
that's when you need to censor.
Exactly.
I didn't bring my child to the show to
this ain't girls going wild.
Yeah.
Hey, wait. You're being famous for WrestleMania. What? You take your kid there. Prostitution is legal.
Take my kid. This ain't about them.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
About them.
Yeah, damn. I just realized like how much money it costs.
Man. Poor as that, stay at the house.
But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but no, but that's when that's when censorship is obvious. Yes. It's like an obvious thing. It's like even like in Bayonetta, when she's getting butt naked and changing into her form, they censor it somewhat. But I mean, I got a mind and imagination. They leave it up to the imagination for you to see. But I don't think that's something my young child should see. That's not something they're ready for in life. So you have to censor those things.
Yeah. Because sometimes it'd be like it gets weird. So like part of like what I was thinking about, I think I mentioned. I don't know if I mentioned to you. So since we're talking about video games, like Dead or Alive, we know they got a niche audience. We know why they got a niche audience, and I'm not mad at that.
They're perfected the jiggle-graphic engine.
Woo! Man,
they're perfected.
Hey, boy, you know what I'm saying? That's all I got to say. And we had that conversation before, right? And so, and I was like, dude, this is the easiest problem to solve. So they wanted to be part of the like esports, fighting game, competition world. But of course, like Evo, Evo is the big one clearly, and they try to be a part of it, but they like, ooh, this don't go to our standards and practices. And I was like, what's so easy? It was easy because like they were trying to appease two masters. And in my opinion, I'm not a professional. That's what I'm saying. Opinion that they could have. So of course, when they made new ones as time passed, they took away some of the goodies. And of course, their fans like, hey, I want to see the goodies. They're like, shit, okay, we'll give it to you. Here. But then Evo's like, hey, we got kids here. What are you doing? And this is how you could have served the other master. They should just made a tournament edition just for Evo. Probably make some more money out of it. Like, I'm like, dude, you just take away stuff versus adding because they can add.
Nah, they can't do that.
Yeah, they can. Why? Okay. Ooh, please explain because I think they could.
Chad and Jeremy have done 1,800 episodes about Street Fighter and their 1,800 versions of a game. I ain't paying for nothing else.
You don't have to.
Give me jiggle or give me death if I'm a dead or alive fan.
But
like
what
that.
I am saying for the tournament. That's all I'm
so
saying.
You're
Make
saying
an Evo tournament edition just for Evo. If they want to buy it there, they can buy it there if they choose to.
Man,
I'm talking about there. It's something special. Of course, so the money grab. All these companies do it now.
Yeah,
anyway.
they do that.
But go ahead. Yeah, something to think about.
That's interesting. I mean, if that's something that's feasible to do, then I don't see why. not.
Yeah, serve two masters.
I don't see why not.
But
I just have like I'm sure there's patches you can have in there for Evo that when you play the game, this is how it's gonna look. It's just a patch. I'm sure that's something that you can do. But I don't see why now that you're mentioning
with pasties, you know what I'm saying? Just make that up.
Pasties ain't gonna do nothing for nobody in that game.
You know what I mean?
I was just playing Ninja Gaiden the other day. Bro, they just came in the game in minute 2 just.
Oh, you talking about like what?
Oh my God! Thank you for saving me, Ryu.
What the hell's her name? Not Trish. Damn, I know you.
Akane, Ayane.
Oh, you talking about that one? No, I was talking about the chick with that fine ass outfit, man. With the thing. You know what I'm talking about, baby, right? You seen my wife's here, y'all. You remember Ninja Gaiden, like the one I let you borrow for Xbox? That game, that first boss was hard. And that was your mouse.
Ridiculous.
Don't understand.
But it's such a great game. Bro.
It is.
Oh my God, it's
one chick on there. I'm about to put down the thing.
Yeah.
Dude, all right, why you dressed like that fighting fiends? She was, I'm like, yo, ain't no pool in
there. She was
there.
wearing her strongest body armor, bro. Floss.
Exactly. Shoestring, right? God damn. But yeah, I know what you mean. Ooh, and I was like, damn. But that's once again, that was back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm like, why we can't have some of this stuff? And like you said, we've seen crazier stuff back then.
But
that you can buy and still buy.
Yeah, you're right about that. But sometimes if you're trying to evolve, that's like even us doing the podcast. There's so many other different like forms of medium. media, when you're trying to evolve and go to the next level and try to be in mainstream media, there's certain things that you do have to change because you're trying to, appeal to the mainstream.
But if you already made something, though, but here's my thing. If you're talking about as a company, yeah, but on a franchise within the company, like you might as well keep that the same and make something else. Due to the fact that it's like you already gained something.
But that's your name, though. But that's the part that's tricky because you're right. You could just make something else, but we know you for doing this. So we're probably coming to you because of this product that you have.
But let's say, but the main majority of the reasons is for those things. You might as well just stick with it. Like, all right. Because I know you're talking about a company, make a profit. I'm not fighting you on that. It's just you're taking away something that most people love. I always make that joke. Luke came in conservative in this new world. I'm Mortal Kombat women ain't stripper looking ladies no more.
Yeah, he fixed Melina, boy. I didn't think that was possible.
So he turned that man. So she caught the ugly.
Like, that's crazy. You made ugly a disease.
Like, that's crazy.
Ugly. Like, oh God, like, oh, she's ugly. She's not a Barakian. I call him Barakian.
Takatin.
I used to call them Barakians.
I like it.
Yeah. Like,
I like
no.
You
got a case of the ugly.
Like, you got secondhand ugly. Woman. I was like, Jay.
I'm gonna. Oh, so Dorothy, are you watching Invincible?
Not yet.
Close your ears. I want to bring up a point. So I was watching Invincible the other night, and I'm not gonna lie, I almost started crying.
Oh.
So it's a scene where Mark is fighting this dude.
Okay.
And it starts off in the beginning of the episode where Mark is fighting Omni-Man. Well, I'm sorry, getting wrecked and destroyed by Omni-Man. And Mark goes up, catch the building from falling. But in the process, his two people that the main villain in this particular episode attached to, they end up dying. So he's like, I want revenge. So it's like the episode is about him and just the steps of him leading up to facing Mark at the end of the episode.
Right.
And I was just like something. Oh, well, I can say it because Dorothy got her ears closed. So
almost done.
Mark is fighting the dude, and the dude basically he has a power to absorb like kinetic energy, kind of like Black Panther's suit, right? So he absorbs the kinetic energy and he can release it. So he's jumping off buildings like from skyscrapers.
Oh, just
because he's trying to build up enough energy to kill Mark.
Makes sense.
So, bro, he starts releasing all this energy. He has Mark by like not by the head, because that was something different, but they were like going at it. And the dude like staged his wife and son getting kidnapped to trick Mark into coming. He's like, hey, I have these hostages. You need to come now. Dude, when I say this dude used so much energy, he fricasseed his wife and son. Like, I had to look at a dead child and his wife like burn. It looked like actual burn victims. Like the detail in this was so
nice.
I was like,
detail wise,
yes, but I was just like,
you good?
Yeah.
Hey, you good?
Like, I was like, y'all should have. I was like, I don't think I need to see this. That's what my first thought.
Right.
But I was like, no, because it's the context of the story. It's a painful thing to look at.
Yeah. It gives you it's
beautiful in the sense that it's telling this story, and this is a real life thing that actually happened. And it shows you that there are consequences for your actions, and going on a quest for power can eventually take away the things you try so hard to protect. That's what I got from that. And that's why with censorship, I'm really for like the creators being able to create.
Me too.
Especially if you're coming from a place of I'm trying to tell this story.
Right.
And this is what I need to say and do to convey the story that I'm trying to tell.
Exactly.
That I don't mind. I don't mind that at all. I don't care what it is. Like we've talked about this somewhat in video games as far as like, representation of certain things in video games.
Right.
Like to me, I don't care what you like. I don't care about that being in the game at all. Don't care. If it's in that game and it's if it's just a part of the game, it's just like, hey, these characters are XYZ. I'm not going to even say what, but these characters, characters are XYZ. Right. And it's just them, and that's them. Cool. Don't care. But if it's being used as a, hey, I'm trying to check a box, like, and it's so obvious, I can see it. Like to me, is
a joke?
It's not genuine. So why are you putting it in? Why are you putting it in whatever I'm trying to watch?
Yeah, whatever form of media. Yeah, exactly. We see that a lot, but you notice, speaking of what you just said about that, People love that show.
What show?
Invincible.
I'm not gonna.
Part of it is that obviously good storytelling. But part of it is that, bro.
This season is crazy. This season is so crazy, and yes, it is like a bloody mess. Like, hey,
but that's what I'm saying.
It's a bloody mess,
bro. I think we want that back in our media, not just TV, but in our media in general.
But I mean, it's not so much. I think that is like, I'm gonna say like 20% of it, bro. Like they just.
No, I say that's a part.
Yeah. I'm gonna say
good storytelling.
The stories that they tell, like this season,
right?
The story that they're telling is so great because Martin is I call it, he's in his symbiote season right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that to me that's just what I gather.
Right. No. You know, everybody can interpret like you always say, but that's what I'm like, because when we watch like say clips and like stuff you show me, stuff my wife showed me, other people's shown throughout the internet, that's that, right? And it's like, oh God, this is gruesome. I gotta watch it. Some people are like, I gotta watch it because that's such almost. I'm not gonna say what's important. That's almost rare, but then with a story too, and that's what if you ask me. Well, with me, I would say that's what brought me to anime. Wait, due to those things, right? It's like, oh shit, it's not like American cartoons. Of course, I was a kid. You heard Chase Conley say the same thing.
Yeah,
like Ninja Scrolls, like his shit.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I should have been watching that. You say you and him say the same thing. That shit, man, wow, bro. Same here, like Akira, Ninja Scroll, and it's like that's. I would say people are our age. I'm just gonna put it there because now, like it's like anime blew up like a motherfucker, and that's what got me there, like the art style. The nudity, the extreme violence and gore. Let's be honest, but like the immaculate storytelling, from back then even till now. And sometimes that stuff it's funny, but that's why I say it's a different culture because we see a lot of like wild animes back then even till now, and they still going wild now.
Yeah,
and people watch the shit out of it, even though it's a niche audience. But like, look, it's so profitable.
Yeah,
Netflix doing it. Hulu's doing it.
Netflix is killing. Bro.
That's what I'm saying, dude. And that's the point I be making sometimes. I'm like, hey, bro, like kill some of the censorship with some of the stuff. Like you right, like I said, like mostly for the kids, but even then with the kids and certain things like they put in there.
To me, like if you don't like something, man, you cannot watch it. Like I just like if there's a show that is something I really don't care to see, I don't go watch it and then go online. I can't believe you put this in this. I don't care. Like,
just turn it off.
Remember
I told you about it. I was like on this podcast. I'm forgetting when we watched that. Probably like Dave Chappelle shit when we talk about that. Lisa Napinelli. I only discovered on Netflix, and and I was using my PlayStation, and all it was just racial jokes, and I'm like, "Boo! This shit sucks." I didn't go. You're Netflix. Well, how dare you get this racist woman being a Karen about the shit?
Yeah.
That's like this ain't for me. I don't care.
Yeah, there's sometimes like I'm quick to turn something off in the middle of it.
Man, if it ain't good, it ain't good, bro.
Easy. I ain't wasting my time. If it's bad, I'll immediately turn it off, man. Immediately turn it off.
And like everybody always want to like create this backlash and everything like that, and everybody in all these industries and stuff like that try to like conform to that shit. And a lot of times it's just people in their feelings. It's like, okay, if it offends you, all right, why? Okay, well, you experienced that. Like for example. Going back to video games, like the latest, not the newest Resident Evil 4, but like the old one, they making money off that shit, right? Because it's been since PlayStation 2, I think 2 on down. We've been playing Resident Evil 4, but like the latest one I got from that one was on the Oculus, and they took parts out, and I was like, why? Why would you take this stuff out? Like for example, Louis Serra. He was talking about how big Ashley boobies are. He's like, I see the president, equip his daughter with ballistics. He's talking about breasticles, right? And I'm going, but there's guys. But I was like, why you take that part out? Like, there's dickheads. Like, he died later on, so there you go, justice, right? But my thing is, jerks out here like that. Why is that not?
Yeah, you should have took that out.
I was like, dude, that's needless. I mean, it's a throwaway line, but that shows what kind of person he is at the same time.
Wait, it was on the Oculus, right?
Yeah, and there's other ones too.
The Oculus, I've noticed that the Oculus is like, it kind of censors things.
Okay, yeah, but there's other versions too, like besides the Oculus.
Yeah, but I mean, if
that's Capcom,
that's probably something that you probably could have really left it there. Like,
it's not just that; it's that line, and then like Ashley, basically, when it was overtime, Leon.
Yeah, he had to take that out.
They took it out.
Thirsty for Leon that whole game.
They took it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like they took away lines. I'm like, bro, people do this. Whoa, why are we taking away lines from like? I'm like, oh my god. So these type of people don't exist. And then we're like a constant thing. Oh my god! And that's how I just rolled my eyes. It was like, wow, we live in a very bitch ass time.
There's a game
soft now, bro.
There's this game that I played. That the dialogue was so bad, I just turned it off. Like it was bad. Like, it should have been censored. This game should have been censored.
Resident Evil 1.
There's this game called Bulletstorm, bro. It was the main characters, like his dialogue was so bad. Like it was just like so. It was like a bunch of curses. Which who cares? You curse in the real game. Hey, it makes it better, right? This dude just like was just saying the most random. It's like if you talked into AI and was like, "Hey AI, can you make a video game? I'm a 13-year-old little boy and I want to use all the swear words I can. Can you please make a video game like that? Give me the dialogue, thanks." The dude, like the first 2 minutes, we talking about a murder boner.
Ready for it? What? Shit, fuck, bitch, goddamn motherfucker, titties.
Yes, but it was just, I was like, I can't even like this is. Then the story wasn't even that cool. So now I'm just like, then the gameplay was kind of weak. I'm like,
oh, so everything was bad.
I'm like, yeah, y'all should have just
Bulletstorm. Okay,
yeah,
I'm about to look that up.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, and
jeez.
Yeah, like I said, I don't mind certain things being in video games, movies, and I'm really, especially like I said, if you're putting certain things in a movie to tell a story, and it's really helping to tell a story. Sometimes you need it because, like, there's sometimes like, okay, like I watch Power, right, and there was sometimes like the main character Ghost. He was knocking down his.
Everybody
I'm talking about like
doing the dirt.
I'm talking like
season.
I mean like just Pound Town. That's where everybody was going.
Dude, before Ghost, man. What's his wife's name?
Tasha.
Tasha.
Yeah,
bro. That was episode 1.
Yeah. So
in the car.
So like I don't mind like that stuff. And I don't care. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
But when it just becomes like gratuitous and it's not even helping to tell a story, it's just like, all right, bro.
Hey, bro, I was almost about to sell some dope myself, boy. I was like, damn, you can play like that?
Like, I can get Angela if I do this.
Man, I get it.
It can be a big rich town for me.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm about to get, get a little something right now. I can be careful, right? And be like, get a what now?
Oh no, that is Jeremy. I was gonna put your whole name. I ain't gonna do that. But that's him. That's Jeremy. Beep.
His address is hit him up. Like, Mr. Trump, don't get me.
But yeah, man,
like sometimes they do get like
for
certain things.
Yeah.
But that's not constant though. But like I noticed like needless censorship on certain things and some other ways to censor people too in life. Just hand out halos. In life. I ain't gonna mention. Go we see throughout history. Even Jesus Christ got. That's all I'm gonna say. There's different forms of censorship. I say it like that. That's what I'm.
I mean, there's like parts of history where people have died for their beliefs. Like things have happened to them because of the things they believe. Because I'm gonna say like people have tried to censor them.
You tell.
Oh, I said no, it wasn't me. I ain't doing it. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't me.
Like Chad trying to censor me, right? Hey, Jeremy.
Yeah. Oh, and hey, that's a perfect example.
Uh-oh.
Like me and you, like our thing, like we're so much alike, but we're so different. But
philosophies.
But I don't sit here and I don't judge you. I don't sit there and try to say, Jeremy, you shouldn't say things like that. You shouldn't do like I don't do that because you have the right, even though the right to free speech doesn't mean you can just say
slander.
Yeah, like you can say the things you want, but there can be consequences for the things that you say too. So like,
you're not wrong on that.
You're just free to be able to say. Like you're not just gonna get like an anvil dropped on you because you said, whatever.
Boy, be watching Looney Tunes.
I had to find a creative way to say that, man. I had to find a creative way to do it.
Boom.
Yeah, like that's not gonna happen. But there can be consequences for the things that you say.
It makes you somebody believe.
Yeah,
it's not wrong. Factual. It can be, but it's not.
Sure.
You believe that truth tellers get taken out?
I? Yeah, it's happened since the beginning of history. It's not new.
I do believe that.
Honestly, that ain't a big conspiracy. It just happened. It's been happening since
forever.
Since forever. Yeah, that does happen. Yeah. I think you have to build a lot of momentum behind the things that you say. I can't be some raving lunatic in my basement with the Charlie board of this, that, and other, and all this stuff. I can't be doing that.
Right.
But if there's truth to what I'm saying, there's people that believe in me, they understand what I'm saying, and I have an influence, then that is a thing that can happen.
There you go,
But
buddy.
now what I will say is
There
it don't happen as much as people say it happens.
Yeah,
because they be people be doing too. I just be
sometimes it's so funny because sometimes in between that you be like, nah, he right, but man, I ain't gonna hear that.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hear that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Nah, bro, nah, that ain't gonna happen, bro. Yeah, man. I just noticed that, I was like, in the last few years, we just say few years, because even like how people get people out of here, right? For a good example, it's not censorship, but it's just a weird thing. I would say so. Back in 2021, the head editor of Teen Vogue, there's some internet shit, by the way. She got fired for a tweet that she made 10 years ago. So that means when she was 17, she got fired. When she's 27, an offensive, if it was, I don't even know what it was, tweet about Asians, right? 10 years ago, because that was at the time where I guess
Twitter was a wild place, man.
Yeah, but it was like, but at the same time though, like I got in trouble for some shit I did 10 years ago. Why am I losing my job or getting in trouble or what have you for something I said 10 years ago? And you said like what you said, every 7 years you shed skin or
you shed your skin every 7 years. You're
and
the
it's
same
like
person.
I can't grow up. So it's like, damn, you just because like that's the thing to do. And that to me, I believe, I'm not saying it is, like you censoring people for who they was.
Yeah, I actually don't agree with that either.
Yeah.
I could if I was ever to subscribe to that, it would have to be like you're basically showing that like you're doing that now,
right,
and then you're using that to show this person has a pattern of doing said thing. But if it's something that I said when I was 17, I was a child. Like, I mean, granted, some places you're an adult, but I mean, y'all know, 17, like we still consider you a child. Like y'all know what this is. So
you can't buy cigarettes no more.
So yeah, I don't think that's necessarily fair, and especially if I'm already in a position because you had access to these things already. Right. So if you didn't go through and find these things, but now because you're bringing up all this stuff that's happened to me that I said back then. If I'm not showing that now, I think it's very unfair to bring that up and try to use that against people. But now, if I'm going crazy now, and you go back, like let's say if I'm
Kanye,
yes,
Kanye,
oh, that's somebody, and
Ye to be respectful to the man's name.
Please, because oh man,
I don't know. I think Ye be doing wrong, but Kanye, we like Kanye. Kanye's so sweet.
Yeah,
but Ye,
that guy,
your boy Ye, he talk. Hey, Chad. Dear Mr. Ye, you go hit him up. Hey, Mr. Ye.
Mr. West.
Yeah, that's his name. Yeah, Mr. West.
Go back.
Hey, what you doing, dude?
Because man, that's
make a song.
Y'all need that. Hey, y'all need some censorship. Y'all want to get right to censor? Right on his entire timeline.
Now that's it. Now that's a whole new lane.
Because that's where
they say you're not a billionaire no more.
But see, to me, that's when that needs to come into effect. Because Twitter is a place where you can basically, I mean, they have, man, you know what they have on Twitter. You know what they got on Twitter.
Man,
so
stuff on Twitter,
yes,
bro. I think they cleaned it up a little bit.
So you can have, man, all right.
I said a little bit.
Yeah, so you can literally have that stuff on there. So of course, you've been able to say what you want to say.
Adult entertainment.
Yeah. So you saying
I thought Chris Jericho was not the interview. I thought Chris Jericho was selling dick pills. I was like, and I was on his stuff, and I was like, what? Oh, it's advertisement.
Yeah.
That's how bad it is. But carry on. I apologize. What the fuck?
He's a Blue Chew guy.
There was some other stuff. I was like, all right, Jericho, what are we doing? I'm a Blue Chew guy. I'm like, Chad, your hero nasty in these streets. I want to text you that morning. But carry on. We were talking about censorship and Kanye and Twitter.
Oh my God. So yeah, man, like so I understand on Twitter you're being able to say things, and that's what the app is basically saying. Like you're able to say the things you want, right? But when you're just Kanye has too much reach to be able to say that type of thing, and then a lot of people not to be up in arms. One. Two, bro, like you're not even, I know he wasn't trying to be funny. I don't know what it is, but he always does this when you have the album coming out.
That's what I say. Like,
so it's like,
listen to this nigga. That's all I be saying.
But it's like, hey, like we just said prior to, you got free speech. That's cool. But you can also be held responsible for the things that you say.
They can say you're not a billionaire no more. That is the wildest shit I've ever seen. I am a billionaire.
No, you're not.
Beep, beep, beep. And they're like, no, you're not. Huh? You're not a billionaire. Just have 400 million now. God, who does that?
He said it was back in his tweets allegedly, but I don't know. But
he said he's what?
He was back to B status. But man, like,
Jeremy, I don't know nothing.
And you know how I felt about Kanye West, man. Like,
that's
know how
hero, boy.
But I ain't gonna lie, I'm looking at him different in light now, man. Like that's crazy.
Join the club, boy. I've been saying,
that's
hey,
crazy.
Yo, leave that man alone. And then like even like Breakfast Club, I kind of you know Kanye do. I be thinking they in cahoots, or at least Charlamagne, because he said the same every time Kanye have this moment. And it's been like this for years now. He be like, and all we gotta do is stop talking about him. Nigga, why you brought it up? Then why are you talking about this?
They got a job to do.
Nah, bro.
Unfortunately.
You can't just do your job and never say
like
that
I
shit.
said, he has that much influence to where
he's right.
So that's why they have to do that. But that's why he says what he says. I wouldn't go on about talking about him,
but that's
over and over and over.
But he done it for years. I'm like, nah, you in cahoots with this fool then, because it's like exactly you're doing the thing, everything you're saying not to do, and it's like, dude, just do your job, bro.
Yeah,
just do your job. Don't even say that. Don't do it on your own time, but don't do it on their time because it's a bad look. And then
they probably want to make him talk about it. That's the crazy part about it.
Like, oh my god, it's like you in cahoots with the food, and you say don't. This is what you want for
Christmas. I don't think he likes them too much.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
no shit.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, I get why.
Yeah.
They censoring them, bro. Subject matter. All right, man. Any more to talk about in this matter, man?
No, unless you got anything else, I think I'm good. Hey, man.
Just passing out halos, man. Be careful, y'all. They be passing out halos.
Yeah, man. Just, stay true to your art. Make sure you tell good stories. Make sure, you're not outwardly trying to offend people.
You said hourly?
Outwardly.
Oh, I think you said hourly. Like every hour.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to piss them off today.
Yeah, no, don't try to offend people just because for the sake of doing it. Because
I know somebody who does.
Nobody's gonna you're not gonna get the response that you want.
But wait, what if it's the truth though?
What do you mean?
If I tell you the truth, I'll talk y'all loud. But what if you said something that's the truth? And you gotta prove it.
Well, no, but that's I'm talking about like,
but not every hour though.
Yeah, no. I said outwardly.
No. I'm just trying to retract. Like, I know what you said. I know what I'm just saying. Yeah, I said,
I don't think that you should just try to offend people. Like, I don't think that should just be something you set out to do, and you do it like in a manner that is not funny. It's just, why are you doing this? Like, you could have just not said anything.
So what about those that just get offended because it's a Tuesday? What do you tell those people?
Stop that. Stop it.
Because I'm like,
I don't know what to say. Like,
there you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
Like saying, my existence offend people. I'm like,
yeah, I mean,
done.
For those that get offended easily or just offended for the sake of being offended, like you're not really offended. Like, I think if you just do it for the sake of doing it, you're not, because I guarantee there's things. So we all have things in life to where, like, you have a thing like, okay, I don't like this. Like, don't do this. This thing offends me. I don't like it. I have those things like, I don't like this. Please don't.
It's funny because I do something, you don't like it, but then I make it funny.
Yeah, it's like, I don't like this.
Like,
yeah,
Jeremy.
Like, it's like, I don't like this. Like, don't do it, whatever. Everybody has those things.
Right.
So those people that are going out of their way to offend people or to be offended, there's things in your life that you do that I'm not gonna like.
Right.
But I'm not sitting here judging you. I'm leaving
like motherfuckers eat pea, like sweet peas. Ugh, you offended me. Like, you eat that shit?
Or people that put pineapple on pizza.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I apologize. I'm not. I do. I did not mean to. I put jalapenos on it though. Kind of balance it out.
And why even put the
bro,
pineapples on there if you put jalapenos on there?
It's because okay. So the jalapenos, they're pickled. That has it, but that sweetness of that pineapple though, bro. Balance. That's
so the moral to the story is some people should be censored. All right, so we are the Fusion-Haa podcast. You can catch us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X if you're nasty. Like, share, subscribe to us on YouTube.
You see what I deal with, y'all? I don't have many episodes. Stop joking.
Oh my God.
You heard it, man.
Do all that stuff, man.
Yeah, like, share, subscribe, and watch some of my old stuff, man.
Yeah, man. We've been enjoying interacting with y'all. Yeah, man. Look at you, man. You did learn something, man. You lost it again. All right.
That's all. You know, I'll drop it right there. Like, take it.
Oh my God. I'm getting out of here.
Let's get out of here, man.
Yeah, man. I'm Chad.
And I'm Jeremy.
We the Fusion-Haa podcast, and we out to stay.
Ha!
I tip such, yay!
Yay!